Here's the bad stuff.
I hear.
Okay.
I'm ready for biased opinions coming right now.
All right, you ain't ready.
I'm excited.
For these biased
I'm pretty excited
opinions.
for those biased opinions.
All right, you ain't ready for these biased opinions. All right. Based off the information that we know now, speaking like a professional person, which I am not, just from hearing like Righteous, you know, I'm probably most likely going to be on the album. There's a couple other songs that have been like secretly confirmed to be on his album. They're kind of all leaks too. I think one of them is called Blood on My Jeans, and I don't remember the other one. But we're looking at not necessarily a typical Juice Wrld album. We're looking more as a remembrance Juice Wrld album, kind of just, you know, his best stuff, you know, his best work of like kind of what he did, and just kind of putting all together is like kind of like a remembrance like token. So that's what I'm really. Yeah, like a memorial, yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to just kind of it just being more of a, like, I'm necessarily not wanting like too many like upbeat songs, of course, like, you know, we need some upbeats, but kind of just like that same like Robbery or like Hear Me Calling feel, like something like that, just kind of throughout the whole album, so we can, you know, just kind of like remember him and just think of these just awesome like songs that you know that he already did and that are just like really cool. And there's so many like leaked songs on YouTube that Juice Wrld had. It's a crazy amount. But there's a couple of them. I have like a list of like a couple songs that I want. There's one song that I'm really praying that's in the album. It's called Up and Away, or Up and Away. And that one, if you listen to that one on YouTube, oh my gosh, that's such a great one. There's a slower song more, and it's called Addictions. And it's just a really, really like prevalent song, just because of, you know, what happened with him, and just the things he talks about is just like so real to like now. But then if they are going to do a couple more upbeat, which I don't know, like that might be the way to go. I don't know. There's one called Purple Montclair. That one is a banger. And then he totally switches up his flow and makes it more of a pop song with this other song called Come and Go. That one is like, it's a really cool like pop song that I kind of like how he kind of just switched. And then one more, which is kind of like another like sadder song. It's actually Marshmello who actually did the beat for it. It's called Bye Bye. That one's also really good too. So I'm kind of hoping, you know, some of these songs are in there. I'm just really hoping and looking forward to just a Juice Wrld album that kind of just is a memorial and remembrance of him, and get some good features in there. Not too many, so it overpowers, you know, him passing away. So just, yeah, I'm just hoping for a good album and just kind of remembering of him. So yeah.
That was really good, Joseph.
Thanks, bro.
What about you, Don?
Okay, here's my thing about the Juice album that I'm worried about. I'm gonna start with this first. There's so many leaked songs that I feel like it's gonna be 2 or 3 new songs. There might be 20 songs on that album. I feel like 2 of them will be songs we haven't heard yet. And I feel like that might be a big problem for the album, seeing as they've been heard so many times by people, that it could affect the sales and the streams and, you know, all the stuff that goes into, you know, making maybe the label making money, or maybe just having the album do well. I'm looking forward to it myself. Like Joseph said, I think it'll be more like a memorial album than most of his stuff that he has now. More of like his, like, maybe his sadder songs, remembering, you know, what we all liked about Juice was when he did get kind of sadder and had his amazing flows that were all off the top of his head. Still don't know how he does that, but my thing is just there's so many leaked songs of him right now. I don't know if we're starting to get people starting to get tired of him, or if the album's gonna do well. I could be totally wrong. It could be like Blueberry Fuego, where it dropped again and it 10 million views in the first like 2 weeks. But I don't know. I feel like that might be a big problem towards the album. But maybe the label has 8 or 9 songs that we haven't heard yet that are pretty fire. So
what is one specific thing that you are really wanting to see on the album, or is it just songs we haven't heard?
I really do want more songs we haven't heard, but I want a better mixture of like his sad songs and his happier songs, because I feel like we missed a lot of his happier songs when he was an artist. I feel like his label tried to push more of that sad vibe out, because obviously that gets yeah, true, but if you look at a lot of his leaked songs, there's a lot more happy songs than you would think.
Yeah, it's true.
There's
That's
a lot
really
of
true.
songs about his girlfriend, a lot of songs about, him just living life and being this rap star, in his definition rock star. But like, I feel like I want to get more of that and less of his sad stuff, because we want to, when we look at Juice, we want to remember like maybe a dude who got you out of tough times, and when you hear his music it just makes you happy. So I kind of want that vibe. But obviously, it's still the sad songs, because those are amazing and those do really help people.
I don't know if they help people, because
It depends. It depends on dude. It depends on who you are.
It depends on the person. It definitely depends on the
with.
person.
Yeah, like real quick, I really like NF, but what people go to NF for, a lot of people, is to relate to in the sadness. And there's certain times where I have, and I'm sure I will, but for most of the time I've listened to someone like NF, and artists in general, I don't really go for a lot of the emotion. I go for the skill of it and all that. So it just depends on the person, right? But anyways, Luke.
I would just like to say, I think I will not be surprised there are more death songs in this next album, because it seems like more toward the end, he really reflected on death more than any other subject.
God, that's so true.
You look at Legends, and you look at the latest songs, he talks about death and life a lot. And you think about it, sometimes you have a spiritual feeling of when you're going to die. Like my grandpa, I'm going personal experience here. My grandpa, at the very end of his life, he's like, wow, I think I might be going out of this world in a few minutes. And the next day he was gone. And there are a lot of people. Eerie. It is pretty eerie, but it is definitely something that I feel like he saw coming and felt coming. And I will not be surprised if most of his songs in this next album are about that. And it really seems like that's how it's been with artists like him. They tend to talk about suicidal thoughts a lot more. Like his mom right now is funding. She's sending money to organizations that help with mental health, and that right there, I don't know if he suffered with mental health or not, but the fact that she is like voicing out loud that she's doing that probably means that Juice had something going on too that we don't all know about.
Yeah,
and I would not be surprised if he struggled with suicidal thoughts, because a lot of his songs talk about death. So it's yeah. And what you tend to see here, and you see it with a lot of artists. When artists kill themselves, Juice didn't kill himself, but when artists talk about death a lot of the time, it does inspire suicidal thoughts. And ways like Chester Bennington, Kurt Cobain, Chris Cornell. I'm focusing mainly on these three artists because these were the faces of the grunge rock generation and the 90s. They were the face of the 90s for a long time. And when they killed themselves, so did a lot of other people. They sparked a whole suicidal revolution. And that's what is the negative effects of writing songs about death. When you die and fans all they do is listen to your songs about death, what are they going to be thinking about most of the time? Death. What do they think about experiencing? Death. It's all a mental effect too. You're going to see a lot of therapists saying the same thing, because people with, like I have family, for example, who has struggled with depression, and it's not anything mentally. My doctor's like, okay, what? Their doctor's like, why do you think you're feeling this way? What do you do on a daily basis? And they listen to music that inspires suicidal thoughts. Strangely enough, Soundgarden, Chris Cornell. strangely enough, Crawling, which is by Linkin Park, Chester Bennington. It inspires you to do terrible things to yourself. It inspires you to think of terrible things about yourself and what you could possibly do that could ruin your life.
Yeah, that's true. There is that aspect of, like, you know, it does cause you to think about it, you know, over and over. But there's some people who use it as an outlet to not do those things. You know, they hear somebody like Juice or like X, and they hear these things, and they use it as more of an outlet to get out of them. So, you know, they don't take it upon themselves or take it on someone else. So, like, I definitely, like, totally 100% agree with you. Like, this stuff is getting rampant, and it could definitely cause people who are already at such a low stage to, you know, just push them over the edge when they listen to a song over and over that's about death and stuff. But there's also the aspect of, you know, let's say you're listening to NF or Juice, and, like, it helps you kind of, like, release that from you, and it kind of just, you put it on the song, and it kind of is almost like a relieving feeling just to, like, get rid of it, just because, you know, it's somebody else saying it and not you, and it's just something, you know, you can kind of hold on to and just kind of keep for yourself, but also a way to get rid of it without keeping it all inside.
Yeah, guys, I really like your conversations. They're really special. So for the Juice Wrld album, I don't want a lot of sad songs. I also don't want a lot of happy songs. I want whatever Juice was making for the album before he passed. May he rest in peace. Like, I don't, you know, that's the thing. It's like, when I think when Juice Wrld makes, well, before I say this, before I go farther, fact check Dom and Joseph, especially Joseph, because you love Juice Wrld. How many songs were leaked that ended up on Death Race of Love?
Oh shoot, I wasn't that hardcore of a fan back then.
Not that many.
Yeah, not that many.
So I think Juice was probably a lot more protective and a lot more intentional living K-Love when he is making an album. So I don't think there's finna be that many leaked songs. You know,
here's the thing, though. After he died, it was his album or his label who released the songs. It wasn't him.
His label is the one who leaked all of his songs?
Yeah, so his label, his parents wanted it, and his parents wanted his music to be free. So they contacted the label and told him to do that.
Is all of his music leaked?
Most of it, yeah.
I don't know if all of his music is leaked, because
I can tell you if I heard Righteous way before Righteous came out.
Yeah, Righteous was definitely leaked.
Yeah, I actually heard Righteous before it came out officially. It seems like...
Okay, Lucas.
Okay, Sean, whatever, Sean. I swear, you're always poking at me. Why do you think I poke at you, bro?
But here's the deal. It's like,
here's the thing. You say stuff like that, but then after that, later on in the day, you're like, oh, bro, I can't believe Kobe died. He was the only white guy in the NBA. Who says that, Sean? You go into, like, that stuff, and I'm like, bro, I have a right to have an opinion too, bro. But Kobe, Kobe, still can't believe you said that, bro. How could you say Kobe was white? I still can't believe that. But anyway, what were we talking about here?
Yeah, Lucas, we were talking about Juice Wrld. So, I hope that his label releases whatever Juicy was working on before he died. Like, I don't want them to look at his songs and be like, okay, let's put in 5 sad ones. Let's put in a bunch about death, just because we know that's gonna really connect with people. I want it to be as organic to what Juice was feeling as possible, because then you get into a situation like what XXXTentacion's label did.
It really does. I mean, Sean, overall, we don't know. When you write that many, we don't know how. If they don't have any, if he didn't write any happy songs, then we might just be hearing sad songs the whole time. But I don't know. I hope that there are happy songs out there, because at this point, all I feel like I've heard more recently is death. I hope there's some kind of happiness he felt near the end of his life. I hope so. I hope there's some song that he wrote that has some meaningful
For
substance.
sure. I think he was going through stuff, but I also do think, to be fair, there were parts where he was happy, where he probably made a lot of happy songs. Like, for instance, if you watch, if you could probably look up like Robbery alternate version on YouTube, there's an alternate version where he sings Robbery and he changes the ending lyrics to suit his girlfriend and basically say like things are good now. I'm sure you guys have seen that. So like instead of and it's making it worse, it's making it better, not worse, is what he changed the lyrics to. So honestly, I don't care what the tone of the album is, as long as the
It's all
streaming
Juice's stuff.
exactly. Like what XXX Tentacion's label did is something that I honestly feel like if X was alive, he wouldn't approve of it. You know, they threw probably, I'd say, I think about 40 songs after his death into like 3 to 4 albums, which each album had like 2 good songs that you could have put into one solid 10-song album. I hope they don't make 5 more Juice Wrld albums. I mean, if they make 5 more Juice Wrld albums and it's all good content, then I'm okay with that. But I do not want them to just overdo this and do it for the streaming and for his mom and all of that, to just for it to just be a money grab. I want it to be as like organic as possible. The Juice
I will
WRLD.
not be surprised. I will not be surprised if the record companies just release albums for money. Because at this point, he was still signed to a contract.
True.
Yeah,
but also,
even if he died, they still need to make some kind of money here.
Yeah,
there was an agreement on both sides. Even if he died, you have record companies that invest. They invest in tours, concerts. They invest in T-shirts, everything. That's what they invest in.
Yeah,
and they
but also
helping to make the music.
Yeah. Definitely.
So,
but
at
also,
this point, like, they need to make some money too. Yet, you have to be sensitive about his death, but you also have to think about the people that worked hard to help him do it. Because without his crew, without everyone that helped him produce and everything, without that record deal, he'll be just another artist trying to make it in the world.
My boy Mira, Mira saved him.
He'll be another artist just waiting on his turn.
I hope Mira is producing a lot of this stuff too. What were you gonna say, Joseph?
I was just gonna say, just kind of, I've just seen and heard like just the people that were like in his close circle, like working on his album, like Mira and like DJ Scheme and like some other people. Like those people, I don't think would use or allow like the company just to put out things just to get money, just for a cash grab. I think, you know, they're really investing time and really putting in and watching what they're, you know, like putting onto the albums, make sure they're good, make sure they're awesome, and you know, not just a cash grab.
Yeah.
So,
and they've
definitely
done good so far. You know, if you look at XXXXX Tentacion's record, he was releasing songs in a far much an earlier timeline than Righteous was released, and Righteous is a good song. They waited a while, so I feel like they're doing a lot better on that. But for as part of my predictions, I just want it to be as organic as possible. I want a lot of Mira stuff to be done, and they said Juice WRLD was very close to being done his album before he died, and it was gonna drop a lot earlier. So
it was supposed to drop on his birthday. It was supposed to.
Yeah. So it might be a full album with songs we haven't heard that is very well focused and everything. And I honestly believe it will be. I would assume that the label probably would have to like probably take out 2 songs that were unfinished to put them in with 2 like unreleased ones. I'd be cool with that. I just hope they do it very, very, very organic and true to Juice WRLD. I hope there is variety as far as like, not as far as his label goes, but as far as Juice WRLD's process making it.